What's up, guys? Jay, MorninAfterKill, and I'm back here to talk a little bit more about the Borderlands pre-sequel. Because if you haven't been following Borderlands news or my channel, yesterday, Randy Pitchford stood on the stage at Gearbox's PAX Prime panel, and they promised to bring us a playable Handsome Jack DLC character. What? Well, alright. I'm sorry, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. It's technically not a playable Handsome Jack. Technically, it is his body double, you know, the one that we killed in Opportunity in Borderlands 2. But since it's 100% in every way, shape, or form a one-to-one complete copy of Handsome Jack, it's pretty much Handsome Jack the way that Gearbox can explain the fact that you're playing as Handsome Jack while receiving missions from Handsome Jack. So this announcement pretty much erupted the entire Borderlands community. It was like a volcano in Iceland, covering the entire UK with volcanic ash. Everywhere I went on social media, I saw people tossing out ideas for what they think, like, you know, Jack's action skill would be, what some of his skill trees skills would be. And I've even seen a few oddball, you know, suggestions out there, like saying, you know, he should summon Butt Stallion, or, you know, remember that story where Jack said he used a spoon to scoop out some dude's eyes? Well, spoon should be Jack's melee weapon, and I actually think I would like to see a spoon as Jack's melee weapon. But one of the cooler sounding ones that I heard was somebody was like, man, they should use the moonshot laser to just rip through enemies. And, you know, while that sounds like it would be overpowered as fuck, I could deal with a big ass motherfucking laser. I know Gearbox can too, because if we watch all the Borderlands pre-sequel trailers, there's lasers everywhere. So what I wanted to do was to do my own speculation and bring you guys a few skills that I would personally put in the game if I was designing Handsome Jack my own goddamn self. So I'm also going to give you guys my own version of what I think his action skill would be. And since I didn't go to PAX, I don't have any really fancy newfangled footage from the Borderlands pre-sequel. I didn't get to play it yet, but what I do have is the ugliest Handsome Jack skill tree Photoshop that you ever seen, that I sat here at 5 o'clock in the morning and came up with for you guys. And it looks so bad, but you know what? Fuck it. I don't give a fuck. Let's do it live. So first off, let's talk about the action skill, which I call double shot. Get it? It's a double shot of Jack Daniels. Ew! Seriously though, almost everything I've created in this video kind of plays off of a Jack pun. So double shot allows Jack to digistruct another version of himself to fight alongside with you. The action skill duration should probably somewhere around, like I say, like 30 seconds. You know, I'm not really sure exactly how long the cooldown would be, but I'm guessing somewhere around like 20 seconds would also be a pretty cool sweet spot. But if you remember back in Borderlands 2 when we fought Jack, he was able to digistruct and clone himself and, you know, use that as kind of a distraction while you were fighting him. And that's what I kind of based double shot off of, and I thought that was pretty cool, because we're gonna go ahead and take a look in the skill tree that I created. It's called the All Trades tree. That's right, it is the Jack of all trades. This tree is pretty much focused on improving a little bit of everything. You know, it's got some elemental weapon damage, it's got some gun damage, light defensive capabilities, and, you know, you'll be able to probably find a few Hyperion weaponry buffs or two lurking within this tree. Since, you know, Jack is a Hyperion company man, it makes sense to see that he would probably have some sort of Hyperion weaponry that we haven't seen yet. And that pretty much goes from what I made his mid-tier one-of-one skill, which would be called Against the Wall. The Jack against the wall. Get it? Your back is against the wall? Yeah, I thought that was clever. So, it's a defensive skill that allows you to plant a particle shield in front of yourself. The particle shield has its own health and cooldown, but once you place it down, it can't be moved. You can recall it, kind of like Axton's turret. When you recall it, the amount of time that you had left on the shield will be added back to your cooldown. Shooting enemies through the shield will give you bonus gun damage for the bullets that go through the shield that hit the enemies. So those of you guys out there that played, like, you know, Killzone, Shadows Fall, or what's that game? Titanfall! Titanfall! You know what I'm talking about, where you can just plant down, you know, it's a clear shield that you can shoot through. I thought that would be a really cool, I guess, buff to give Jack, that not only he can use that for gun damage, but, you know, kind of let his shields recover and get a little bit of a breather while he's fighting. So, the capstone I thought would actually be really cool, and I called it Executive Privilege. Now, this skill removes recoil on all guns that Jack has equipped, no matter what the manufacturer. You know, I thought that would be cool and a little bit different than just giving him something that does devastating damage. And, you know, allowing players to have no recoil will allow those with good accuracy to find Jack as a little bit more of a rewarding character to play with, and not just sort of like, you know, a face roll gauge where you can just kind of shoot the floor and everything dies. So, the next tree is called In Your Face. Yeah. It's the Jack in Your Face tree. I'm sorry. There's so many possibilities for puns with his name being Jack, but this would be a melee-focused skill tree, since when you fight Jack, he does do quite a bit of punching. And in this skill tree, the mid-tier skill of this tree would be called the Hype Cannon, which I shortened down from Hyperion Cannon. But, you know, since Jack is kind of edgy, tries to become relevant, he's just going to call it the Hype Cannon. And this is a melee override that shoots a brightly colored laser blast, like the one that Jack does in Borderlands 2 when you fight him in the Vote of the Warrior. A direct impact from the Hype Cannon will cause a huge knockback on an enemy that's hit by it. Nearby enemies are also stunned by the bright light given off from the cannon's blast. I thought that would be pretty cool to give him something, you know, if he's going to be a melee character, you still want to have some type of skill to where he can get enemies out of his face and get the hell out of dodge. That way he can go back and heal up in case if things get a little bit too hairy pussy for him. So, the capstone of this tree is, I'm not proud of this one. I'm not proud of it, but it's called the Circle Jerk. This would be a 2 out of 2 skill capstones. Each skill that you spec into Circle Jerk will add an extra handsome Jack when you use your action skill. So specking 2 out of 2 into Circle Jerk would max you out with a total of 4 handsome Jacks. And that's including the handsome Jack that you are. Now, this goes back to Borderlands 2 once again. When you're fighting in the Vote of the Warrior, Jack splits himself into 4 during that fight, and I thought it would be really helpful if this actually increases the length of your action skill, but to balance it out just a little bit, it lowers the health of each destructed Jack. And the reason I set it up like that is because the capstone of the last skill tree is a skill tree that I call the Be Nimble tree. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Jack pulled out his motherfucking dick. No, he's not pulling any dicks out, but the Be Nimble tree focuses on movement speed and fire rate. It focuses on the quickness, buff, and speed. So the mid-tier 1-of-1 skill here is a skill called Long-Winded, because Jack likes to talk lengths and lengths and lengths. It's long-winded. So this gives you extra fight for your lifetime, and you also gain bonus fire rate. So the less time that you have remaining in fight for your life, the faster your fire rate becomes. So as you're dying and you're about to bleed out, your fire rate can become a very unbelievable bullet hose. That might be a little OP, but fuck it. I thought that might be a little bit helpful for those people that might take a knee. Might even help you to take a knee to get that fire rate to kill an enemy even faster. Might become strategical. All that strategery. So, the capstone of this skill tree is called Digiport. It's not a very inspiring name, but once you find out what this does, you're gonna be like, that's kind of sick. So, this skill allows you to take control of your Digistructed Jack by pressing the action skill button. Now, if you are spec'd the Circle Jerk and you have more than one Digistructed Jack on the battlefield, pressing the action skill will bring up icons above each Digistructed Jack's head. So basically, if you push the LB button, if you only have one Jack, you will become the other Jack that's out there on the battlefield. But if you have 4 Jacks on your team, there's 3 other Jacks besides yourself. If you push the LB button, there would be icons above each one of the Jack's head, and whichever icon you hit, like A, B, X, Y, or if you're on PC, you know, I guess F, G, T, Y, 7, 8, 75, 37, you know, whatever the fuck you have your shit key binded to, it would let you take over that handsome Jack. Now, the cool thing about this is that you can use this strategery. Like I said, all the strategery. Yes, and I know it's not really strategery, it's strategically, but strategery is funnier. So, anyway, every time you switch to a new Handsome Jack, it will replenish the Handsome Jack's health 100%. But you can only do it once per action skill. However, if you have multiple Jacks out there on the battlefield, you can replenish the health of each Jack at a different point in time, but you can only replenish the health of each Jack once per action skill. And I thought this was actually, you know, something that I have envisioned in my head, where Jack would be, you know, an ultra fast, deadly accurate, and would be able to, you know, teleport his consciousness from one Handsome Jack to the other. And, you know, this would create an insanely fun way to play the game, especially with, you know, Jack. He's insanely cocky, so when he's switching over to different Jacks, he can be like, oh, hey, you know, over here, haha, you missed me, oh, you're so bad, you know, shit like that. I thought it would be absolutely mental, and, you know, getting good with the teleporting at the right time to keep each Jack alive during his action skill would not only be fun, but like I said, it could be strategical as well, because you see one of your Jacks over there is about to die, you go ahead to switch over him, you play as that Jack for a little bit until another Jack is about to die, you switch over to that Jack to keep their health going. It's kind of like a round robin of switching around the battlefield to whichever Jack would actually be in trouble. And that's where we get to the problem with my envisioning, with my whole scope of what I would want to see with Handsome Jack, because honestly, I don't think last generation consoles will be able to handle 4 Jacks at once, as well as 3 other characters in a game. Not to mention, if you had 4 Handsome Jacks in a game, with 4 Handsome Jacks each, there would be 16 Handsome Jacks on the battlefield. And as much as I want to see 16 Handsome Jacks teleporting around the battlefield, I don't think we're going to see that anytime soon. But it's fun to just sit back and kind of see, you know, maybe what could possibly happen with this character. And I'm probably right about 0% of what Handsome Jack will be as a playable character. But you know what? If I was going to design Handsome Jack, this is how I would design him to be. And I thought that would be absolutely amazing. So, my name is Jay, MorninAfterKill. I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys rate, comment, subscribe. If you could, leave a thumbs up for the video. I'd highly appreciate it, because it gives me motivation to make more videos for you motherfuckers that watch my motherfucking videos. I thought it would just be fun to sit back and give you guys my opinion and ideas on what I think, you know, Handsome Jack could do as a playable character. Now, is any of this going to happen? Like I said, possibly 0% is going to happen. That's just what it is. This is just me speculating on things that would be cool. It's just us sitting at the lunch table at recess and just be like, hey man, wouldn't this be cool? And I gotta say, I think it would be. So, like I said, my name's Jay, MorninAfterKill. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys later.